nosy. She all up in my business. It's the lady that just drove by, like, did the... Yes, I'm in my car, talking to a camera. Thank you.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm on my way to have a few doctor's appointments, like physical therapy, and I'm also going to see, I believe I'm going to see a new GYN. I'm pretty sure I'm going to see a new GYN, just because I only saw the old one like once and I don't even recognize the name that they gave me when I made the appointment, but really just to make sure that like my vitamin regimen is on point and that I'm not taking anything unnecessarily or taking anything that could potentially harm my chances of conceiving. I don't think that's the case because obviously we conceived on cycle 5 and that could have not worked out for a number of reasons. But yeah, I guess we'll see what this doctor has to say. My primary care doctor referred me just out to the OBGYN clinic just because I think she kind of was starting to feel it and I was definitely starting to feel it. Like we just need a little bit of separation when it comes to that because she oversees pretty much the rest of my care, but I don't feel like she needs to be necessarily overseeing that part of my care because I just feel like her versus another doctor may go about certain things differently. And I'm sorry if this camera is shaking a little bit. I have a lot of potholes on this street. But yeah, I won't really say excited because I already have my consultation also for the fertility, what is wrong with me today? Fertility clinic at Walter Reed. I already have a consultation for that. So I kind of just feel like I'm more excited for that because it's not that I want to get to the point where we need it, but it's like if something is going on and we do need it, let's just kind of get the ball rolling and get everything going. I also feel like because they're a fertility clinic, their number one goal is to have you not only conceive but carry the full term and have a live birth in the end. Also, the clinic that I will be having my consult at, it's a contract, but it's all services through the military, so they're not getting paid per head. The doctors there and the nurses are getting paid regardless of how many patients they're treating. So that also makes me feel like I'm not just going to be just some number there. Like they're actually going to feel like they can fully take their work just, I won't say more seriously, but they're not going to even tell us that we are a candidate or tell us that we can go forward with any treatments if we're not passing all these filters and all these kind of check boxes that need to be marked off before they even accept you into their program. So I feel like that right off the bat makes me feel like you're more of a service that is not just about money. Like you truly value your patients and truly want what's best for your individual patients, and you're not just trying to get a coin. So that definitely makes me feel a lot better about going to them. I feel like I'm hopeful going into this GYN appointment, but I feel like I don't know if they're going to be looking at me funny or kind of writing me off because they're like, okay, you're on month 6 now, like, girl, bye, just wait 6 more months. I don't know if that's going to be the experience, and I also don't know how I'm going to receive that kind of attitude. I probably won't go back if that's the case. I'm going to just say it now. I'm more than likely will not go back, but we're just going to keep thinking positive. We're going to be hopeful and think positive, and hopefully this appointment goes really, really well. So I will talk to you guys when I am coming out of there and give you the update. Okay guys, so I just got out of my appointment and I can just say that, like, God is so great, you know. You just sometimes get in your own head and you think all of these things, and you know, you sometimes have these preconceived notions of how things are going to go. That appointment was so helpful, and just, it's like a right place, right time kind of scenario. It's pretty much exactly what I needed. So I went in, I saw the doctor that I previously saw, which was so amazing. I didn't have to see anybody new, which was great, because that man he is just a lovely person. Like, he has a very stern kind of demeanor or outwardness about him, but he's also almost like very soft in a way, kind of like the warm feeling that you would get from like a grandfather figure. That is like literally what it is with him. But I just feel really truly blessed right now, because we talked about it, and he said, you know, when was, you know, your last cycle and everything like that. And he's like, I heard you got a positive test. And then he tried to explain to me, like, you know, sometimes pregnancy tests will pick up your LH because just the hormones in there. So he was asking me, like, did I get any blood work done or anything like that? I told him that I did get blood work done, and it was at 28. So he immediately, without even like thinking on it twice, it wasn't even like a calculated decision or anything like that, immediately was like, okay, then you were pregnant. So unfortunately, you know, this would be your third loss, but it was confirmed. So that just made me kind of feel whole in a way. Like, I didn't like the fact that my last doctor, no matter how much I like her, I didn't like the fact that she wasn't willing to say like yes or no. And here it is. Excuse me. And here it is. This man, who has only seen me one other time, is like, yeah, if you got that, you know, positive and it was 28, then you were definitely pregnant. So all in all, he said you have two options. Either you can just wait it out. You can wait 3 months, give your body kind of time to heal and your cycles kind of time to get back to normal. I guess he was meaning if they're not normal, because as far as I'm concerned, like, my cycles are pretty regular and normal. But he said you can wait the 3 months and give your cycles time to just regulate again. And then he said, or what you can do is we can move on to genetic testing and screening. I decided that it would be best for me if we were just to go ahead and move on with the genetic testing and screening. I just feel like at this point, for whatever reason, it hasn't happened. And he explained to me the different percentages in miscarriages and early miscarriages, and like, you know, it's usually chromosomal factors and some factor of nature's way of just kind of filtering out what isn't, you know, good for us as human beings. And he also brought up the fact that, like, even, and he was just giving us as an example, but even with like Down syndrome, he told me that 90% of conception that has the genetic factors for Down syndromes, 90% of those end in miscarriage and end in early miscarriage, and 10% is the people with Down syndrome who actually, you know, make it. I mean, he asked me, did I have anything genetically? And I don't think that I do, and I don't necessarily think that Jeremy does, but just to kind of cover our bases, I think it would be great. Now, I feel like I've said this already. Actually, I did say it in the TTC tag that I did. Jeremy does have 2 children from a previous marriage. I, unfortunately, have 3 losses and no living children. One of our children, and I say our children because when we got married, that solidified things. It made things a 100% complete unit. His children are my children, so they're our children. But Mikey, who is now 14, it's hard to believe he is now 14, but Mikey has a mild form of autism called Asperger's syndrome. So with that, my doctor didn't seem like too concerned, but he's like, you know, he has produced one completely healthy child, and then the other one is for the most part like 90% healthy, but he does have this mild form of autism. So he was kind of the opinion like, you can do whatever you want, that he didn't think it would hurt, but he's like, I'm not pushing for that because I think that you guys will be okay, but it's nothing wrong with getting screened and getting seen. So I did really appreciate that. He also let me know with the blood test that they're going to run that they are also going to be doing an ultrasound, and I'm totally fine with that. I did wind up getting a pelvic exam today, unbeknownst to me. When I, made this appointment, I didn't think that because we were going to talk about all this stuff that was going to end in him saying, okay, hop on the table, I'm gonna give you a sheet, legs up. So that made me feel like just a little bit uncomfortable. I think because I was blindsided by it, just the fact that I wasn't able to prepare for it mentally. So that didn't feel the greatest, and I did feel kind of slightly emotional. Like I thought the next time I would be, with my legs in the air on a table, that it would be because I was, baking baby deck in there. But no, that's not the case. But it was still a good appointment. I'm very glad that I went, and I'm very glad that I went ahead and switched gears and kind of got away from using my primary care doctor for this portion of my TTC journey. I feel like it's such a blessing already. So yeah, that's what update I have for you guys. It's going to take about at least a week for me to get that appointment, if I'm even approved for it. That's another thing. I have to see if I'm going to even be approved for it through my military coverage. So we shall see. In any event, I will give you guys the next update and keep you along close with me on this journey. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.